Good afternoon. Today we're going to talk to you about lungs. We're going to talk to you about biology. We've seen chemistry, we've seen physics. Today biology is coming back to rule and take over like we should be. Maybe you've made one of these, maybe you haven't. This is a model, a simple model of a lung. We work on what's called negative pressure. So when you pull the bottom of this, the lungs tend to inflate. We've got a pair of these. Again, we need them because we're using them every minute, about 12 to 16 times a minute. You're taking breath with your lungs. And as you can see here, your lungs are fairly complex. You have a larynx, you have a trachea, you have bronchi, and then you have extensions of primary, secondary, and tertiary portions, which take the little airways down into smaller and smaller alveoli. Again, you look at lungs, they're encased in a membrane called the Pleural Sac. You have a parietal and a visceral poria that allows the lungs to expand and contract in the chest cavity without a lot of friction. But lungs are pretty cool. They're pretty cool. If you take a cross-section of a lung, which this is, and it looks more or less like a slab of French bread without the butter, you see that there is a tremendous amount of tiny, tiny little sacs in there, which are called alveoli. In fact, if you would spread all of this out, you would have the surface area of a tennis court. So the lungs are not like hollow cavity things that we might believe, but they are actually chock-a-block full of things like sponges. And all this area is for gas exchange. Okay, let's move on. If we look at the position of the lungs in the chest cavity, of course you have a right and left lung, you have a diaphragm. When the diaphragm contracts, it pulls air in through negative pressure. Again, we're all under a sea of air. Every square inch of our body has 14.7 pounds of pressure on it. This is what our ocean of air above us does. And it helps us breathe because when that diaphragm collapses or contracts, air is pulled in. Let's look at a real lung. This particular model, really not a model, this is a real lung from a pig. And as you can see right now, it is deflated, but when we would pull a negative pressure on this, we see that this tissue expands greatly. All of those little sacs that you saw on that dried portion are actually moist, and you actually have air coming in to fill all of these. So as I pump these bellows, we're actually inflating the lungs just like your diaphragm does whenever you inhale air. So the lungs are really great. You use them again about 12 to 16 times a minute. They keep that vital gas, oxygen, moving to all the cells in your body. And with that, we'll bid you adieu for the afternoon. And any questions on lungs, we'd be glad to answer them. Thank you. Have a good day.